starts dozing down the digestive tract and into my colon, things start shaking. When that starts shaking, I start shaking. And when I start shaking, and when it's ready to go, I can't stop it from coming!
Welcome to WrestleVision's Please Not Another Wrestling Podcast. Today on our Sunday episode, we would like to talk with you a little bit about what happened on WWE television this week. And my guest at this time is the beautiful Liam.
Hello.
And yeah, we jump right in probably the hottest topic of the WWE week, which is Mick Foley presenting the Raw audience with the 24/7 championship. Yeah, Liam, what are your thoughts about this?
I think, first of all, we'll get this out of the way. I think the belt looks absolutely horrific. I mean, right, I'll rephrase that. I don't think it's absolutely horrific, right? I think it's not great, and people are just sort of exemplifying it. I think the belt's look sort of contributes to what it represents, which is essentially, it's a jobber title. It's a title for people at the bottom of the card. And I think it's a good idea because it gives them something to do.
Well, I do not have much problem with the title design because, yeah, as you said, it's not really a prestigious title and it's not supposed to be a prestigious title, so it can look pretty crappy and it doesn't have to be the best title design in history, and I believe it's actually better than the Universal Championship. So at least that. But when it comes to the actual purpose of the championship, I'm not too keen. There are already many championships in WWE, and the 24/7 title. Well, we already had that with the hardcore title back in the Attitude Era. And as you've seen then, the first few months were actually quite fun, and it will turn out the same this time. But let's say in summer 2020, we will all be bored. WWE will be unable to come up with new creative ways, and then they're probably going to retire the championship again. And it's just postponing a problem that they have, that they are unable to come up with storylines and great matches for a load of people they have, and just look at these people who were trying to capture the title on Raw. Whether you have Titus O'Neil, who is way past his prime, but you also had guys like, for example, a Drake Maverick, who could do much greater things in WWE. And and you have Mojo Rawley and Apollo Crews, who it doesn't feel right that they're amongst these people chasing for the title. And yeah, it will be fun for a couple of months, maybe to a year, but what we are going to have then is a retired title and everything back to normal, and WWE will still be having the same problems, and I believe it would be way better for them if they just invest in storylines and try out new and creative ways that way, and not yeah have these, like it's like a bone for some dogs to play with, and that's it's like I said, it's going to get boring really fast, and then the problem is back, and it shouldn't be handled this way. They should actually, give these guys proper matches, proper feuds, so they can actually get some stars, because let's face it, with a rule like that, with the 24/7 championship, nobody will ever break from that glass ceiling. Everybody will just be relegated to that title, and nobody that is 24/7 championship from that undercard will ever advance to a higher level, because yeah, you are just fighting over, yeah, a trash championship.
I think on that, I think a certain maybe um, a sort of reward. So it's sort of like if you can hold it for a month without losing it, you get rewarded at the end of it with like a world title match or a mid card title match or something like that, just to add a little bit to it. Um, and that way, I mean, you could say that it would become boring if that was the case, because the whole point of it is that it switches between people. But I think it would add a bit more meaning to it, and it would stop it from just being there as a prop, and it would actually have some meaning behind it.
Yeah, I wish that would be the case, but I have not that much faith in WWE.
Oh no, I
And
don't. I don't think it would happen. I don't think they'd do it.
yeah, and it's already restricted. Like it says 24/7 on the belt itself. It was presented as a belt that has to be defended 24/7. But there's a lot of internet output that WWE has, and the championship is not going to be defended there. It's not going to be defended on the network if it's not a pay-per-view. And it only has to be defended in the third hour of Monday Night Raw, not across all Raw. Knowing WWE, they might change that this week, but yeah, according to Mick
I think
Foley.
I think that was just a mistake from Mick Foley, because I think his promo was set up in two ways. He had to introduce the 24/7 title, and then he had to introduce the new look of Raw in the third hour. And I think he just got them mixed up. And I think he just sort of misworded the promo. And people have gotten that idea because that's what he said. But I don't think he actually meant to say that it can only be defended at that time. I think he just sort of messed it up in his head, and got confused.
Poor old Mick. If I hope that is the case. But well, I believe Truth is going to drop the title on Raw, probably to yeah, maybe Drake Maverick even, because he's actually seeing this as a chance to do something while one half of AOP is still injured. And yeah, they're probably going to give the title to him so he can bring it to 205 Live, and then probably Mike Kanellis will take it from him, because they are having a feud down there in 205 Live. Not really a feud, but they're they're not really liking each other there. And yeah, then Mike Kanellis will probably drop it to Noam Dar, because Noam is the only 205 Live member. Oh, or maybe only Lorcan. That could also be the case, because he's also one who could go down to NXT. Yeah, and then the title will be defended there. But speaking of NXT, there's yeah, somebody actually came back to NXT this week, and that's the Prince Pretty, Tyler Breeze. He's back to the yellow brand, and you already told me in preparation to this little podcast that you haven't watched what happened there on NXT. So let me tell you something, Mean Gene, what happened on NXT this week. So the North American champion Velveteen Dream, he went out and cut a promo. Yeah, and then Tyler Breeze music hits. The NXT crowd really welcomed him back like a hero. And yeah, they had a little go, and it also is playing with the fact that both characters, the Pretty character that Tyler Breeze had in NXT, and the current Velveteen Dream character, they are quite alike, quite similar, and they played off of that. And then yeah, it actually came down to the Dream asking Tyler Breeze to leave the ring, because yeah, uh, the Dream feels like he's better, and Breeze shouldn't come down from Raw, because yeah, the only thing that Breeze was doing here was to try to get back some fame, because he wasn't get used on Raw or the main roster. And Tyler Breeze's reply was, "Yeah, but at least I am on Raw, and people actually wanted me to be called up. Unlike you, you had spray tanned your 'Call Me Up' Vince on your trunks, but nobody ever answered the call." And yeah, then the Dream said, "Okay, but you can have your 5 minutes of fame here in NXT, and what about taking a selfie with the champ?" And yeah, then Tyler Breeze just gave him the beauty shot. And later in the episode, William Regal actually made the match Tyler Breeze versus Velveteen Dream for the North American title.
Good.
Good.
This is good. This is excellent. I like this. Um, I like whether they wanted to do it or not. I like the idea of moving main roster people to NXT because they have so much talent that they don't use. It's good just to, if it's what Tyler wanted, I think he's entitled to be able to be given that chance to sort of rebuild his career and remind everyone why everyone liked him in the first place, why he is so good, because he hasn't been given that chance on the main roster. And I think the WWE have been put in a position where they have to give talent those sort of opportunities because otherwise they will leave.
Yes.
So I think WWE has been backed into a corner where they're having to do stuff like this because if they didn't move Tyler Breeze to NXT, I have no doubt he'd leave and go and be a bigger star somewhere else. So it's good all round. It sort of works out in a positive way because it means we get matches like Tyler Breeze against Velveteen Dream.
I agree. So there's yeah, this match is just a great opportunity for, yeah, actually both, because I believe that Dream could really learn and benefit from a match with Tyler Breeze because he's already been there and done that. And I believe this match is going to be really a great one. And we'll see. Maybe Breeze even wins the title and stays around in NXT for a little bit longer. I believe that would be pretty great. Pretty. um, talking up,
Okay.
talking, talking about people who might not be around for longer. Rey Mysterio, the current and new United States champion, he is kinda yeah, having an injury right now, a shoulder injury, and
Yeah,
it's
he said, I can't remember exactly what it was. I'm going to check. I think it was a separated shoulder, but I
yes,
can't remember.
separate shoulder. There's a video on WWE's YouTube channel which shows Ray getting treatment for his shoulder actually, and he gets some kind of injections. Um, yeah, and we don't know. So Samoa Joe on Raw asked already for Ray to relinquish the title and just give it back to him, and yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
they're teasing a segment for Raw where they're going to address the future of the United States title. Um, so I guess whatever happens there, we'll have to wait and see whether Ray is going to be around or not.
Yeah, you really can't tell if they now dropped the Dominic storyline or it's still going on. I don't know. Um, maybe, yeah, we still have to wait and see on Raw. It's kind of hard to tell what's going to happen there because the information that's coming out is not really that helpful. There's not really much coming out other than that short video of Ray getting treatment. That was pretty much the only thing.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I don't. I'm unable to make a bridge to our next topic, so I just say NXT UK. And it's the main event of NXT UK this week was the much anticipated Walter versus Pete Dunne 2 for the North America, no, not North American, for the United Kingdom Championship. And yeah, Walter, that's how you really say it. Walter retained his championship, and but he didn't do it clean because he was receiving some help. Um, it was Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eigner who came to his help, and it seems like NXT UK is pushing for Ringkampf 2.0 here. What are your thoughts, Liam?
I really like it because I'm not going to lie, I'm not someone that watches NXT UK regularly, because quite frankly, I don't find it very interesting. However, this certainly makes it interesting. It adds a little bit of, it fills a gap. I think a dominant heel faction was needed. We had Gallus, but I just can't take them seriously. And I think that this new Ringkampf-esque stable or faction, whichever, is the key to that. And I think it just adds a lot to Walter. It adds a lot to the UK title, um, having that much protection behind it, and it certainly makes things, yeah, interesting is the right word, I think.
Yeah, so I've been following the original Ringkampf since day one ish, and unfortunately WWE was unable to convince Timothy Thatcher to join Walter in NXT UK, and yeah, Thatcher is a special person. He has his own vision of what wrestling should be, and that necessarily doesn't go along with the WWE style of doing things, and therefore Thatcher will probably never sign with WWE, and so Fabian Eigner is the replacement for Tim, and we'll see if another member of Ringkampf that's currently also really hanging up in the air in Alexander Wolfe would also make the jump to NXT UK. That would be interesting to see, but I can also see them sticking with the three-person groups, so we can actually go up against guys like British Strong Style or Gallus. And yeah, first of all, yeah, well, they teased that Walter was uninterested in teaming with them, but they now decided to go with the three-person stable, and I'm interested. I'm wondering what the name will be because I doubt they go with Ringkampf, because it's a trademark brand in Germany. So I believe they want to create their own trademark. Um, yeah, and the last thing we would like to talk about is a return to Tuesday night SmackDown Live. Um, it's the return that, yeah, let's say it didn't go down well with the crowd, and it was Dolph Ziggler who made his comeback by attacking Kofi Kingston, the WWE champion, on SmackDown, and then cut a promo that was, in my opinion, pretty good because it should have been him who is having the position of Kofi Kingston right now. Yeah, and WWE decided for Saudi Slam that Dolph Ziggler is going to replace not Ono, Owens, who pulled out of the show, um, to face Kofi Kingston for the title. And yeah, it's the Intercontinental slash United States Championship feud from the early 2010s that yeah, is now making its comeback to uh, the Saudi show. So what do you think about that, Liam?
Um, while obviously maybe it's slightly underwhelming, it doesn't really feel like a WWE title match. I don't think there were many better options. Who else do you choose? I think the only person really would have been that isn't already booked would have been Elias, and I think they're saving him, or perhaps he's going to get involved in the Shane match or whatever. Um, but there's not anyone else. There's not anyone else that could face Kofi, or
Yeah,
no one on SmackDown anyway.
Andrade.
Yeah, but he's in the IC title match.
Oh yeah.
There's Andrade who's in the IC title match. Bryan who isn't going. Owens who isn't going. Um, Black's not going. Orton's against Triple H, and I think they're the only 5 real options that there were.
Yeah, Primo Cologne.
Oh, excellent, brilliant. Killian Dane.
Killian Dane, yeah, why not? Lars Sullivan.
Oh god.
Imagine that, and then he would actually win the championship in Saudi Arabia, coming full circle. Ah, man.
What a great message.
Yeah, so that were 5 out of 5 topics from WWE television this week. Anything to add, Liam?
I don't think so. You can go and check out the Double or Nothing preview episode. Wait, this is going up on Sunday, so it'll be too late. Ignore me. Never mind.
For sure you can watch it back and just pretend that Double or Nothing
Yes.
didn't happen.
If you haven't watched it yet, maybe you can go and watch the preview first.
Yeah, yeah, and it's Sunday, so we've already seen Double or Nothing, and it was just the greatest show ever.
Oh, it was amazing,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah, it was amazing,
I
and
can't believe Dana Brooke turned up and became the new AEW Universal Champion.
yeah, that was amazing. I'm still shaking thinking about this, and yeah, when Duke the Dumpster Dozy won won the Casino Battle Royal, that was insane.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So, yeah, I believe that's it. Don't forget to like this video, share this video around, and yeah, comment and tell us how awful we are, or how not awful we are. And
Ideally, the second one. That would be nice.
yeah, that would be really nice. Yeah, um, and if you have ideas on what we could talk about on the next podcast, don't fear. Just put it in the comments, let us know, or tweet us at WrestleVisionYT, and we will see if we could make this happen, because this is from France for France. Don't forget.
Yes, from
Uh,
the eyes of the fans.
yes.
There you go.
And yeah, thank you for watching, and have a good time. Bye.
Bye.